We are no fools on the heat. My people are no fools on the heat. You must let my people go, so we can rule from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's hands, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I say, we wanna know who owns the land. I wanna know who owns the land. Aslan, hey, Papa Aslan, Papa Aslan, Papa Aslan, we must be free. Angola want to know who owns the land. Mozambique want to know who owns the land. Namibia want to know who owns the land. I say, someone want to know who owns the land. Zimbabwe want to know who owns the land. African freedom fighters want to know who owns the land. Papa Slam. Alright. Now listen to the history. With the years since creation. With the years since creation. What else do I know? Since the time of sun and sand. Since the time of moon and stars. Since the time of air and sea. Since the time of men and things. We must run from Cape to Cairo. Okay, now I want to talk to my people. Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. Yeah, Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. I feel it's all over Daniela. Now we are the crossroads. On the Femo, don't be wrong. I feel it's all over Daniela. I'm not famous, don't be wrong. Oh, Falimu Maya Gura Baba. Yeah, oh, Falimu Jackson Yalaka. Yeah, oh, Falimu Tizanya Vetonge. Oh, Minije. Yeah, Jalare, oh, Minije. Oh, Jamela, Jamela, Bogise. Oh, Falimu Jamela, Jamela, Bogise. Oh, Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. Yeah, Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. I feel it's all over Daniela. Now we are the crossroads. On the Femo, don't be wrong. I feel it's all over Daniela. I'm not famous, don't be wrong. Oh, Falimu Maya Gura Baba. Yeah, oh, Falimu Jackson Yalaka. Yeah, oh, Falimu Tizanya Vetonge. Oh, Minije. Yeah, Jalare, oh, Minije. Oh, Jamela, Jamela, Bogise. Oh, Falimu Jamela, Jamela, Bogise.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Amber TV, Amber ABC TV Live, coming to you from the great state of Texas, Houston, precisely, Texas, USA. It's a pleasure to come to you live today. I'd like to welcome all of you joining from ground zero, precisely all of the southern zone who are holding French Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, port à son steam to ransom today, I mean since yesterday and today. Thank you so very much for those of you joining from ground one. All our refugees, may God bless you and thank you for joining the broadcast today. For all of you in the diaspora, again, it's always a pleasure to come to you with updates about this revolution today. I got so much to discuss today, and as usual, I would love you to go ahead and hit your share button. Let everyone out there know the anchor man is live, and only on ABC Amber Television, only on ABC Amber Television. So please go ahead and hit your share button. It is going to be a very, very exciting broadcast today. So please, again, go ahead, hit your share button, This is going to be very, very, very exciting, as I got a very, very exciting lineup, of guests for this broadcast. I shall be taking you to a number of places. Precisely, I shall be taking you to Kumba to get a report from people who are on ground zero and following up the lockdown precisely in the southern zone. I shall be having our correspondent on the ground give us a little report as to what went on today in the southern zone, Kumba, precisely. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and once more, thanks for tuning in. Please, let's do this as quickly as possible. Go ahead and hit your share button. Let's get the platform populated. Let's get 700 in the next 5 minutes. 700 people in the next 5 minutes. Let's do that. Let me see. Who is joining the broadcast right now? Let me get my preview monitor running, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Okay. Let me shut down. All right. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and hit that share button. Get me to get me started here. Those of you just joining, please hit the share button. I will be joined later in the broadcast by Abdul Karim. And of course, I'm also joined by the Secretary of State for self-defense or defense by the name of Bishop John Egiawan, who will be updating us and briefing us what is going on ground zero with the lockdown in the southern zone. I learned everything is looking awesome, wonderful. Kumba lockdown, Boya lockdown. I don't know about other towns and cities yet, but we're going to be I will also be talking to people on the ground as per what is going on in the southern zone with the lockdown. But before I get there, I just want to remind everybody in the southern zone, the lockdown in the southern zone, ladies and gentlemen, is not over until Friday. In other words, the only day that you go out for your regular business shopping activities is Saturday. So we have lockdown in the southern zone from Monday to Friday. So everywhere will remain shut down. Not even humanitarian vehicles are allowed to move, except these are for emergency purposes, ladies and gentlemen, except those are for emergency purposes. No humanitarian vehicles, whether they are UN, whatever form of vehicles, they are not allowed to move except for any emergency purposes. So again, the southern zone remains locked down till Friday. The reason being that Port Asong's so-called reconstruction team does not end their program till Friday. According to their itinerary, their program does not end till Friday. So please, all of you in Boya in particular, now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. There is information circulating out there that Port Asong was uplifted or ejected by air to Kumba today out of Boya. That information is not true. Paul Tasong is still in Boya as I speak with his team. So they are trying to blindfold our restoration forces from tracking them down in Boya. Paul Tasong and his team, they are still in Boya. I'm going to be talking about that. in the course of the program, and I got somebody who will give us some good updates on that. I will be joined by the one and only Fomba Diodone, who is FACO security chief. He will be updating us precisely on what went on in FACO today. I learned there was severe fighting, Moyoka lockdown, Moyoka a corner, and so on. We're going to be having details of that, and I will also be joined by, again, a correspondent in Kumba who will give us the state of the city. So please, I am waiting for you patiently to hit the 700 number. We are close to 400 now. If you are just joining, hit your share button. Let us make up the numbers so that I can come to you with this excitement. While you are doing so, I'm going to put my guy in Kumba on the line so that he can brief us. He can brief us on what is going on or what went on in Kumba today. So let me see whether he can join me right now from Kumba. Okay, so while I am doing that, ladies and gentlemen, continue to hit your share button. I see the numbers are not rising to my pace. So please, those of you joining, go ahead and hit your share button. Let's populate the platform. Go ahead, hit your share button. Let us populate this platform. Give me 700. people write their place. I will go back to my guy in Kumba. It doesn't seem like he is picking the phone. So let me try the guy in London. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I got my guy in Kumba joining me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by Julius. In Kumba, who has been Julius, there is a lot of background noise on your phone, please. Can you get to a quiet location?
Yeah, Secretary Chris, I'm trying to get you.
Yes, a lot of noise coming from your gadget. Can you, I don't know what is going on, but a lot of noise in your background. Is it raining?
It's seriously raining.
Oh, it's raining. Okay, all right. Just, all right. Stay put there. Stay put there. Let me get to you shortly. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is our update on the situation in the southern zone, precisely in Kumba. We're trying to find out what went on. In Kumba today. What went on in Kumba today? So, hello, Julius. Tell me, the state of things in Kumba. How was locked down, shut down in Kumba today?
Okay, Secretary Chris. Today happened to be Tuesday, the 30th of June.
Yeah.
2020. Today, the day 2 of the lockdown. Day 1 was just a traditional lockdown.
Right.
You can imagine, in fact, Amazonians in Kumba are so patriotic. Patriotic to a fault.
I know I think you are very, very correct, because I think Kumba in particular has respected ghost towns, Monday ghost towns to the list every week.
Yeah, Secretary Chris, what I realize is that the restoration forces don't have work here to some extent, because from all indication they are in their camp resting. The people of Kumba are so patriotic that when the interim government put an order, they don't need to. They understand that that's what is supposed to be done, and they don't go against the decision of the interim government. So the restoration forces has a lot of time to rest in their camp, rather than going on to reinforce the lockdown. The people are just so obedient.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the photos you are seeing on your screen are photos coming from Kumba. Today, you can see that. I don't know which avenue is this. I don't know whether this is Kramer Avenue or what. I cannot tell, but you can see that the streets are dead, empty. Not a chicken is anywhere. This is Julius. What is the main street where you have the market in Kumba? They call it Commercial Avenue.
They call it Commercial Avenue.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is Commercial Avenue in the Kumba, where you have the main market, which is the most busiest of all streets in Kumba. Completely dead and empty. This one looks like I don't think this is Boya Road, but still, again, this is in Kumba. So, Julius, tell me, I understand there was the Ambazonia Restoration Forces caught 2 Hilux trucks of French Cameroon terrorist soldiers and put them on fire.
Yeah, I only read that on a write-up on Facebook from Comrade 4, Nilong.
Right.
I can't actually... Yeah, I can't actually tell, but I read it from Stainless Steel and Comrade 4, Nilong.
Okay.
And we are with Equinox TV to get the detail tomorrow.
What have they reported today evening? I mean, Equinox.
Yeah, we are suffering from blackout right at the moment. At the moment, we are suffering from blackout.
Oh, so there is no light in Kumba now.
This is 9 minutes past 8 p.m.
Okay. And Kumba has no electricity.
No electricity. Seen yesterday, but this evening they tried to like show us some 45-second light, but the thing has gone off again.
Was there any?
Come on air.
Was there any shooting in town?
There was serious shooting yesterday at Boya Road.
At Boya Road.
Yeah, the restoration forces came out to warn the population, and the Republic forces came out too.
Okay.
It was a type of warning.
Now I understand there is one general, I don't remember the name, who was in town visiting with the colonial DO, SDO for Meme, and they were complaining that if what is this place? Kosala and which other place? Then they mentioned a number of places. The report I think was on Equinox. And they mentioned a number of places. They said if Kosala area and a number of other areas were taken care of, Kumba will no longer respect those towns or respect any activities from the interim government.
Yeah, that was told by the colonial SDO. The colonial SDO told the general to give those three names.
Okay. So it is after 8 p.m. It is after 8 p.m. and people will be waking up tomorrow in Kumba to another dead city, I hope.
Yeah, the people love it.
All right.
The population is so law abiding. When the interim government said they should stay at home, they are so happy.
Good. All right. Thank you, Julius. Stay on it. I will get back to you again tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, comrade. Peace.
All right. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Julius giving us a little brief from Kumba. What is going in there? Kumba was dead, completely dead, and according to that report, there was shooting yesterday, last evening around Boya Road between the Ambazonia Restoration Forces and the French Cameroon terrorist soldiers. So Kumba was totally locked down, totally locked down. Let me get to Mr. Dieudonné Fombat, who is FACO security chief, joining me from London. Hello, Chief.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I want to take this opportunity to say hello to our fellow Ambazonian, especially on ground zero.
Absolutely. Thanks for that. I hope they receive it. Tell us, you are the security chief for FACO. We understand that there was complete lockdown today. How was Victoria? I have no idea, but you should have some idea. How was Victoria today?
Victoria was equally locked down. I think our people are really excited because from all indications, they are determined. They have come to reason with us and understand that the colonial regime in Yaoundé and the terrorists, they have no plan for the future. So the only thing that they have to think of is getting their country, which is the Federal Republic of Ambazonia.
All right, that is great to hear that Victoria was down. Any news from Tiko, Motengene, Munya? Of course, Boya was dead. Moyoka, Ekona, what do you know of these areas?
Yeah, I think from all indications, and our people must have seen images on social media from Tiko, from Mutengene, from my 14, Boya, Munya, Ekona, Muyuka, it's been hot since the day before the interim government declared this lockdown. So La Republique has actually been facing a tough time from the hands of the Ambazonian Restoration Forces on the ground. I think there has been a lot of shooting, and shooting is still ongoing. To tell French Cameroon that they are not welcome in our territory, and especially Port Tasson. Port Tasson cannot walk on the street of Buea. We understand he's hiding somewhere, in some hotel in Buea, or maybe in a woman's house.
Right. Let me just cut you a little bit short there. There are social media reports that Port Tasson was lifted to Kumba, and which is the title of the report I am having on the screen here. I just want to draw attention to that. Is that report is deceitful. The pictures, by the way, you are watching on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, those are photographs from Buea today, showing shops sealed, completely sealed, and the roads are empty, dead empty. This is Buea. Yesterday it was same, today it is same. But General Fomba, let's get back to this fake report of Port Tasson ejected out of Buea by helicopter to Kumba. Again, that is a fake report, correct?
That is a very fake report, and Port Tasson should know that within his ranks, we have people working with us. Within his immediate ranks, we have people who are giving us updates on his movement. And Port Tasson, the helicopter that has been hovering over the air will join our people or our boys so that they should think that he's gone to Kumba, and they will use the advantage to make their propaganda in Buea. So one thing I want to tell Port Tasson and the people of Buea especially, they should know that we are aware, and whatever thing we have planted, if Port Tasson is a man and man enough, let him walk the streets of Buea. He will go back to Yaoundé in a body bag. If he doesn't do that, then let us understand what happens. But I want to assure Ambazonians, we have Port Tasson on target. If he is a man, I challenge Port Tasson. Walk, you have come to the southern zone or the southwest, Hajipo call it southwest region. If you are a man and you know that that territory belongs to you, walk on the streets of Buea. Walk and come down to Moliko like a free man. And then the international community will say that, okay, really, La Republique is doing. We will send Port Tasson back to Yaoundé in a body bag. Thank you very much, Secretary Chris.
Well, thank you before you go, but I think that is a good bait you are putting out there for Port Tasson and his team, and I think you are on point, because how can this guy come around talking reconstruction, trying to let the international community believe there is peace and war is over, and yet they cannot even be visible. They cannot be visible. They are surrounded by the military, and they are hiding in some hotels, or as you said, in some woman's house in Buea. What message does that send to the international community, that there is peace and the war is over?
Secretary Chris, you know La Republique with propaganda. You know what they are trying to do. And don't be surprised that after this lockdown, you will see the headline that CRT will put out there to deceive the international community and deceive our people who don't on the ground. Port Tasson cannot take to the streets of Buea. He is a free man. Let him challenge the Fako County. We give him this, we give Yaoundé this as a challenge. We have Port Tasson on target. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that we know that his program ends in Buea on Friday. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how we get that intelligence. But amongst his closest ranks, where he is, we have that intelligence. And they are in support, not indirectly, but directly in support of what we are doing.
Right.
Because they understand that this colonial regime of Yaoundé has no good intention for our people. They are out there to kill, steal, and destroy. And we will not sit here, fold our hands, and watch our people being massacred in their numbers. Because some inconsequential idiots from Yaoundé think that they can sell false propaganda and deceive the international community that all is good and all is well. We will say no.
So if I may ask you, we still have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday before this thing is over. How prepared are your guys in FACO? How prepared are your guys in FACO?
Our restoration fighters in FACO are still warming up. This was just a test. They were just testing the grounds. We haven't started yet. We haven't started. So we're still warming up the grounds to see what happens. And another message that I will send, because it has come to our notice that some taxi drivers are violating, they are enabling the genocidal regime from Yaoundé to sabotage the laws that have been put in place by the interim government. They are working. We have noticed that few of them, I can count them by my fingertips. There are few of them. We don't know who is driving those few taxis. But one thing I want to call the attention of the union leader, is it the president of the Boya Taxi Union? That if we don't get those taxis now, we have all their number plates, all of them. We have their number plates. We will visit them. We, with any taxi that roams on the street, as we have declared this lockdown, we are taking note of those taxis. If we don't get them now, we will get them even on our regular days, on the normal regular days where there is no lockdown, there is no ghost town. Because those people, they have proven to us that they can go to any extent to help French Cameroon kill our people.
Now,
so
talking
that they're doing very lightly.
Talking about that, I understand, I learned that there is a particular market, I don't know whether about Kwango or where in Boya, that continues to defy, that even today, that market was timidly going on. I hope you people are aware of this, or if not, to investigate it and stop it.
Chris, we will investigate. I am just getting this from you. We have been busy checking what is happening with the boys. You know, when there's a lockdown, first of all, we have to make sure that our boys are doing what they are supposed to do. We are also helping to advise them on the way forward and strategies on how to come out without any injured. So as of now, Ambassador, to know that all our boys leave all social media propaganda. All our boys, we haven't had a single injury. They are all sound and safe. Now it's guerrilla war. When they leave, nobody knows. When they enter, nobody knows. It is hit to the target. That is why La République, Paul Tasson cannot move. That is why Paul Tasson cannot move on the road to Kumba. That is why Paul Tasson cannot leave the house where he is hiding his head.
All right, I will get back to you with that piece of information so you guys can look into it and see what you can do. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much, Secretary Chris.
All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. It is going on really good in the southern zone after the northern zone had their turn. Last week, this week was a turn of the southern zone, and things appear to be going really good. Victoria shut down all the way to Boya, Moya, Ekona, Moyoka, Kumba, you name the rest. I won't even go to other places which I know have already been shut down for a while. Right now, I'm joined by Bishop John Egeawan, who is the Secretary for Defense at the interim government. Secretary John, sir, it's a privilege to have you here. Thanks for joining the broadcast again.
Thank you, Secretary Chris. So thank you for welcoming me into ABC and television, and to the Amazonian people, wonderful people on ground zero, who are standing their ground against this colonial regime.
Bishop John, your audio seems not to be really good. I don't know what is happening in the background there, but let's try again and see. So let me know. This lockdown in the southern zone, unlike in the northern zone, is a little longer, owing to the fact that Paul Tassong's program, I understand, extends up to Friday. How was preparedness in all of the southern zone, sir?
Secretary Chris, you know, when I came last time on your television or ABC television, I let the Amazonian people know that silence is not inaction. The restoration forces have been preparing, you know, with the type of war we are fighting and with our enemy, these genocidal soldiers of La Republique du Cameroon. They have all the money, they have all the equipment and everything, and they brought this war to us. And we were not prepared for war. But as time goes on, we have been learning, we are changing very rapidly. And our people have been planning, and we have our strategies, and we are developing more strategies to counter it. Preparing Secretary Chris to fight the war for many years. If Larry decides not to do what is humanly right or what is right in the face of the international community and to the Amazonian people, we are prepared for ourselves to fight this war until thy kingdom come. So our boys are ready. The Amazonian restoration forces, they have been ready. Despite all the challenges, we see that La Republique has not been able to defeat us with money. They have not been able to defeat us militarily. Now in a strategy by using enablers, people they are bought with money. You know, money is very powerful and can deceive many people, Secretary Chris. A lot of people, they don't care souls and they don't care about other people. So they are using these foolish people to give them money, and they take this money to be so even some people in the ranks of the restoration force. And so we know this, and we are fighting that also. We have our intelligence all in place, and we are dealing with all that. So yes, Secretary Chris, we are ready, and we are always ready. And we are already ready. We are ready for the war that is going to be formed. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. I think what we are seeing in the southern zone kind of renews a lot of enthusiasm, because people were concerned that not much was happening there, but with what we have seen in Victoria, in Boya, in Kumba, in Ekona, in Moyoka, all over the place. I think this is kind of some renewed optimism in Amazonians, especially going into Sunday with the Indian war drive. Do you see this? Do you see this continuing, building up to something even stronger? Now, let me add that there is no doubt the southern zone has done a fabulous job, in this struggle. I mean, when this war started, it was the southern zone that first took up arms to defend itself, and they did so for about 6 months before things took off in the northern zone. And when people are beginning to get jittery and say, oh, we're not seeing any action, and so on and so forth, I think the southern zone, our boys down there are proving that they are up to the task. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong, Secretary Chris. You are not wrong. You know, there was a period where southern zone was very quiet on TV here, and I told the people that silent doesn't mean that you don't have action. Where are you going? You know, war you have to plan, you have to strategize, and there are some silent things that you do that is relation that you see on the ground. So we have been preparing and we are still preparing because we understand the challenges that we have in the south. People don't understand that the southern zone is not really a good ground for guerrilla fighting. And we have to act a strategy unique only to Amazonia itself to be able to fight the type of war that we have. So I am cautioning the Amazonian people that please, when you don't see anywhere like Victoria, don't continue to support the restoration forces. Know that we are planning something. I just want to let our people know that this war, there's outcome, Secretary. There's the outcome to this war. And look, I want to emphasize this, Secretary Chris. There is one outcome to this war, and the outcome is victory for Amazonia and independence. So the people who are getting very impatient, the people who are getting afraid, and they are selling their souls to like thinking that we are going to lose. I am trying to advise them that look, the devil that they had, they should not allow the Republic to manipulate them with deception. They should not allow all those enablers be purchased with money to deceive them. We have only one outcome to this war. It is victory for Amazonia. I don't want the wrong side to be on the wrong side of this war. Turn around, come back to your people. Don't give in to the pressure of the Republic. Do not say because at the end you will be the weak. You will be the one to regret. You will become a coward. You will become poor because you have abandoned your people and sell your soul public. At the end, the Republic is going to lose. And what will you do? So I am advising you that do not get impatient. Stand with your people, people of Amazonia. Stand with the restoration forces. Don't give in to those thieves. Those fake who are going around and terrorizing you. No, they are not winning. We have Amazonian restoration forces are in charge, and we win this war. Son or great win this war.
All right, Bishop John, the quality of your sound is just so bad, very, very bad. I don't know what happened today with the connection at your end. I will let you go. We will come back to this in the course of the week as the lockdown goes on. But I want you to give a short and precise message to all the fighters in the southern zone for the last 2 days or 3 days of this lockdown. What would you say to them? 50 seconds, please.
I want the restoration fighters that they should remain resolute. We want to thank them, or we congratulate their bravery, we congratulate their efforts, and we are standing with them. They should keep up with it. We are aware, as Comrade Kumba has done, we have taken note of all those taxi drivers who are going out and working for La Republic. We have taken care of them. We deal with them, even not on lockdown. We also want to let people know that La Republic using private transport to transport military equipment, like you saw in Bob, destroyed those 2 trucks. When driver was on the way to 2 trucks were destroyed because they were private trucks that were transporting military equipment. And anyone who is giving their private vehicle to military to use it, know that we are going to destroy it. We know La Republic is using every trick to do that, but we are on them. So I just stay focused, restoration forces, don't get distracted, and all our enablers, we have them. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bishop John. Thank you, Bishop John. I will quickly take this caller. I think he got some vital information for us here. Hello, sir. Hello. 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 So bad connection, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I will bring in Comrade Abdul Karim, who is joining me from against Toronto in Canada. Comrade Abdul, it's a pleasure to have you in here, sir.
Thanks for having me, Secretary Chris.
Oh, I like your sound there. Perfect, beautiful there. I don't know what happened to Bishop John sound today. You look so young and looking handsome out there. I think you are doing really good. Well, before we move to other issues, I don't know, you have been listening to our conversation from Ground Zero, from the security guy in London, from Bishop John. You have anything to say about what is going on in the southern zone, the lockdown in the southern zone?
All right, let me begin by praising God, and I ask Him to send His blessings and peace upon His prophets, messengers, to southern Cameroonians who are suffering, who have been massacred by the day. We ask God to send His mercy and cure the world of this pandemic. And my regards to you too, Secretary Chris. I'm sorry I'll be disappointing you with low energy because I'm not feeling very well. And I was able to shave after 3 months. We're being careful not to visit barbing salons because of the COVID. But I had to shave at this time, so you can say that I look young. Regarding lockdown, and basically we need to ask why our territory has been locked down. I followed the program last week with Comrade Bo and Bafru, and I almost cried because what this Paul Tarsong and other enablers have been doing since the escalation of this problem, especially at this critical juncture, is nothing short of, besides being a hoax, a scam, is nothing short of what we can term an international political publicity stunt. A case where there is a planned event organized to deceive the people or to get their attention. This is what it is. Real change, in my opinion, if you want to change something, it lies between what you know and what you do. The likes of this Paul Tarsong and all of these enablers, because to me, next to Satan is an enabler in our context. Next to Satan is an enabler. What do they know and what do they want to do? Do they not see, is it not clear to them that Southern Cameroonians, the people of Southern Cameroons, have taken a very strict position since 4 years ago? Can they not see that Southern Cameroonians are being killed and locked up in foreign jails? Can they not see that the people have rejected and vomited everything that concerns La République du Cameroon? Can they not see that they cannot even move freely in that territory? If that is what they know, then what is it they are doing? The question now is being begged. What are you doing? What do you want to reconstruct? How, when, and where? What do you want to reconstruct? La République du Cameroon has built nothing in southern Cameroon, and they have only taken everything. When they made us in 1961, we brought everything a country needs. We actually have made them become a recognized country in the world economically because we provide more than 60% of the GDP of those two countries. Our education was at the limelight when Cameroon, in quotes, was being regarded as the most literate country in Africa. All of this have been destroyed, and it went to a case where they start killing us and our parents like dogs and pigs. What do you want to reconstruct? Is this not an insult to yourself? There is nothing to reconstruct. Like I said, real change lies between what you know and what you do. Perhaps these people don't know some of these things I mentioned, and if they don't know, we are inviting them to sit before our primary school students or pupils to teach them what has happened to their parents in the past years, in the past 3 years. But I think they do. I want to thank Southern Cameroonians, I want to thank the people of Southern Cameroons for their resilience. What they do can only give me energy without subtracting an iota of it. What they do only makes me repeat a statement in my heart, which says that it's either you give me total liberty or you give me death. When people back home stay this resolute, this is what I understand. And I want to thank all other Southern Cameroonians, comrades who are involved in ensuring that sanity of the blood of our people is respected. There to ensure that the blood of patriots, which is already sinking in the soils, will not go in vain. This is what we must do to those who have died, those who paid the ultimate price. We have to go to the finish line. We've burnt the bridge, that is true. We've actually crossed the Rubicon of certain debates. This is why we talk nothing about federation with these so-called federalists. We've gone past that. But we must win the war. We are winning many battles. We have to win the war. Our war, again, our war is not that of killing anybody or destroying anything. Our war is that of liberation. We are in a liberation struggle. This is why we don't have any standing army. We don't have any armed groups per se. We have civilians who could not bear the murder, the massacre, the cold blood killing of their parents, their children, their daughters and sisters. Then they decided to pick up machetes to arms to defend themselves. You cannot name such people armed groups or an army. We don't have that. It is true, several people are trying to organize such efforts for proper defense that would meet with international conventions like that of Geneva, but it doesn't convert civilians into an army. So what is going on is a trained military of La République du Cameroon, backed by French Cameroon, sent in as an occupation army to kill Southern Cameroonians because they want to own their land. It is that simple.
Now,
this is actually
talking about this reconstruction, are you surprised that the United Nations, UNDP in particular, is so much into this so-called reconstruction thing?
Oh yeah, like we've said most times, education or knowledge begins with defining words. When you define the United Nations, and you not by dictionary definition now, but philosophically, what does it constitute? It constitutes the same people who colonized Africa to begin with. France, which is the mother of all of these things, by the way, this country that has never really fought and won any war. She was defeated in Vietnam, defeated in Madagascar, defeated in Algeria, even at the defeat of Germany in the Cameroons in 1945. France did not really fight any war. England did. This is why one of the reasons why they give them 5th seat of the land of the German Cameroons and only took 1 seat to encourage them morally. This is a country, it's a weak country that has nothing to do except extort from Africans. They are the ones backing such things, and United Nations has been proven beyond doubt to be a very corrupt organization. Do not forget, we have 14 African countries donating 85% of their bank reserve to this country called France. La République du Cameroon cannot afford even 1% of anything. France relies on the extortion of Southern Cameroons tied to Cameroon to make such money. Altogether, annually, they make $500 billion out of these African countries, and we are sure to say that what comes from the Cameroons comes by and large from Cameroon. So do not be surprised that United Nations Security Council United Nations would always come to back such fake processes. Like I said, it's an international publicity stunt. They want to show the rest of the international community that everything is fine. Who has rushed to support La République du Cameroon with 40 billion francs? France. They are the ones to rush to do that. They collect the money, and it would be at the interest rate which is high, and the max they can get from contributing this money to France is 20%. So do not be surprised. And all of this, sir, don't matter. What matters is our resolve, and our resolve is there. Before anybody would construct or reconstruct anything, by the way, take for example Bamenda. What has La République du Cameroon constructed in Bamenda for which they want to claim reconstruction today? They have only destroyed what they did not build, and we are promising them that we are going to rebuild by way of preparation. So don't be surprised that the United Nations will back this. Dig it further, you see where it roots from. France.
We're talking about the resolve of our people to resist and to fight this war to the last man standing. We saw the respect of the lockdowns in the northern zone the other day. This week, we are seeing the respect of the call for lockdown in the southern zones. In the midst of which you have these so-called women task force. I don't really want to say women task force because since I came out and lashed at that group, we are beginning to realize that the so-called protest letter by those women was written by six people led by Sally Mbumian. Now, in the midst of people, in the midst of these lockdowns where people are demonstrating their support for independence, these women come out and they put out a protest lashing at the interim government and the leaders of the struggle for calling a lockdown. You have been there and you know this group, you know these ladies. What can you say of their action? I thought it was shameful and disgraceful, and of course not really a surprise to me because I have long known these women, particularly their leader Sally Mbomen. They are all opportunists, making business over the blood and the dead bodies of Amazonian people. But tell me what you think about their action, please.
Yeah, upon hearing that, that information came to me with a heavy heart. Yes, it's a shame that women, these are people I respect so much, would stoop so low. I don't know for how many shekels of silver. But this is what we have to analyze here. When things like this happen, you want to go to the root cause and examine the origin of such people. You will realize that really and truly, they don't feel the pains you and I feel. They don't feel the pains my mother feels. They don't feel the pain your mother feels. This is the bottom line. These are people who were existing and were alive when Akunjulius was killed. Nothing till today. When Clement was killed, nothing today. When people marched with peace plans and they were shot at, nothing today. When Obama Enes called all of us, including them, if they are part of us, he called all of us rats. Nothing did they say. Okala Bilai call all of us dogs. Nothing did they say. Their own fellow women were crawled in the mud along the street leading to my alma mater, Cameroon Protestant College. Nothing, they didn't come to protest. Daughters were raped in the Boyer University. Nothing did they see. Pepper spray water was sprayed in hostels alongside Bambui and Bambili. They didn't come out to march. 22nd of September, 1st of October 2017, the mass killings, they didn't come out. Discovery of mass graves, no protest. When did they start? When the international community started getting attention. What are they doing now? They are doing what we call peace business. My advice is this. There are some of these women who are only blind. There are some of these women who are being fooled by a few. Do not let the blood of our children haunt you. This is a shame. I mean, if these women will want to do anything tangible, they cannot be doing so against the people of Southern Cameroon. You would see all of these games will be trying to play neutrality, but neutrality in the face of injustice is injustice.
Absolutely.
Once you are neutral, when people are being killed and you choose when to come up because lockdown has been called, I mean, I would like to see the people of Southern Cameroon by themselves march on the street and say that we don't want lockdown. This is a liberation struggle, not for Secretary Chris, not for me here, not for many of us, but for posterity. And because of your purse or your wallet or some house that you want to build for your children, you think 8 million people will be sacrificed. It's a shame. It's a shame. I really have difficulties when subjects come like this regarding women. These are people I don't like talking about a lot. But what women must think about all of these things. You have not marched for Southern Cameroons. You only march when the victim cries. You are helping genocide by talking against the victim. You victimize the victim some more. I wonder if you take some step back and think about what you're doing. This is all I can say. Our mothers of Southern Cameroons are protective of us. We wonder where such attitudes come from today. Perhaps they are not from Southern Cameroons. Who knows?
Okay. Let's move to a different subject. As you find on your screen, La République du Cameroon dual nationality law. There has been so much said about that law that French Cameroon is trying to put out there. For years, citizens of that country demanded for dual citizenship status. In Europe, in the USA, they argued for that. They did nothing. Now, suddenly, when Ambazonians declared their independence, their sovereignty, French Cameroon is about rushing to declare dual nationality. Now, there is a law that is not known, that is not clear about what the intentions are. But I would like to ask you, what do you see? What is all this about from your own perspective? What do you think that dual nationality law is all about? What are they trying to achieve here?
Again, publicity stunt. They want to prove democracy. But do not forget, that law has been imposed only on Southern Cameroonians. We know that they do have dual nationality. Their footballers do have. Samuel Eto'o is a Spanish. Their president, I think, he has three triple nationality. Many of them, their ministers, they do have. It has only been imposed on us, so much such that even our brothers and sisters who run out here for greener pasture, to come back to that country, they need to procure visa. All of this is publicity stunt. They want to prove that they are democratic, they have things under control. Do not, I'm telling you, La République does not have the capacity to think. This is all done by France. This pressure is just enormous on them, and they are looking for ways to get some international attention in the positive. But that doesn't really matter. They can have quadruple nationality. It is not really Southern Cameroon's business anymore.
Does that law really mean anything to the Ambazonian struggle? Because I know there are many out there who are wondering how is this going to affect us, and I've listened to some audios put out there asking for Ambazonians leaders to do something, get to the lawyer. Does it really mean anything to us? Because this is the way I look at it. If we have declared our sovereignty, how does that even concern us?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know from whence these opinions come, but I'll say that in my opinion, saying that policies in La République du Cameroon concern you, it means that you do not agree with the fact that our independence the launch for the restoration was done so in 2017. It means you don't agree. It means that you will say that the elections which they have not succeeded in doing on our land matters to you. To me, it doesn't concern us. Not at all. It doesn't concern me in particular, whatever they do there. Look, they are going to give us liberation or death. Our policies, we have an interim constitution, which is working for us right now. After then, we are going to have constitution, which of course, dual nationality is going to be discussed. I know that Southern Cameroon would definitely consider dual nationality. Perhaps La République du Cameroon citizens are already seeing that, okay, these guys are going, and we may want to belong. Therefore, why not give a constitution that will allow for us to seek dual nationality in Southern Cameroon? Who knows? But yeah, I think that
not until then, of course, when we formally celebrate or celebrate our independence in Boya, and we sit down to draft our constitution, that's the only time we even think about dual nationality or dual citizenship. And so until now, we should assume that La République du Cameroon is making this law for her citizens, not for any Ambazonians. Because I have heard the argument out there that what if it means in the time this thing should end up in a referendum? Doesn't that mean that French Cameroon citizens in our territory become citizens of Ambazonia and have the right to go out and vote? This is the argument that you hear out there. I say absolutely no. I don't know what you think.
No, I would go with your view. Look, again, real change comes when two things lie in your head: what you know and what you do. Who in Southern Cameroon does not know that we are not part of La République du Cameroon? We've never been. This is an invading force, and then we've made it clear that we will not continue with this relationship. We want to negotiate with them and part ways. Everybody knows this. To me, people who have these arguments are people who are in strong relationship with federalists. Southern Cameroonians must learn to stop reacting to certain things like that. To me, they are destruction. We have to be proactive. And when you're proactive, it means that you've set your target and that's what you're heading towards. You should be realistic in these goals, because to me, sometimes we spend a lot of energy on trivial issues, which really does not concern us. Well, we could have a portion of our ability that looks at those things, think about them, but this shouldn't be headlines on our newspaper, neither should it be headlines in our brains. We have a more important thing to talk about. A referendum? What referendum? I need to know what referendum. There are two things here. We don't have options. Southern Cameroonians don't have options. We have one option. Federalism was dead on the 17th of January 2017 when Bala, Fontaine were arrested and Bobga and Patasang ran to Nigeria. Federalism was dead and buried on that day. Since that day, we don't have two options. So it is like this. Federalists, unionists, or whoever thinks, they are welcome to join La République du Cameroon on the one hand, and they'll meet us on the other hand. All of those things, if federalists and unionists are worried about policies within the Cameroons, it is their business. We are waiting for them here, and we must produce confidence in what we do, because we know what is up. If we know what is up, then we know what to do. What to do is not paying attention to trivialities coming from an invading force enabled by our brothers and sisters. We should be concerned in what we do as a people.
Right, that is it. If I may get to another subject at this moment, I want to believe that Ambazonians out there are paying no attention to what La République du Cameroon is trying to do with their constitution. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with us. It doesn't bind us. It doesn't bind us in any way. So Ambazonians, let us focus. Let us focus and let French Cameroon go on with the business of reforms in their country. When we get our country, we are setting up our own constitution, and our constitution decides exactly what we want. But let us move on to another subject, Karim, which is the subject of the Swiss initiative. There are quite a number of Ambazonians out there who still contest the legitimacy and the legality of the Swiss initiative. And one person who has been out lately making a joke of this process or that initiative is Dr. Fontaine Neba, whom you know so well. It is very, very unfortunate that a man of his caliber, of his intelligence, of his smartness, go out and try to blackmail, sabotage the process. I know you know a little bit about what he has been putting out there. Please tell us what you know.
Oh yeah, I saw some excerpts of a program he had on SABC with Comrade Don. I really don't know the entire context, but I saw excerpts which he made allusions to his meeting or a call. I don't know whether it was physical or not, but I think it wasn't physical. It was a call from HD, and of course they engaged him to try to know what he feels, and if he could join the process. And he gave an opinion regarding Sokadev and Egg of Sea. I've seen people taking that and running with that. Look, real leadership in a liberation struggle, real leadership would be concerned with success and deliverance of the people, not who takes the credit. A real leader would get the job done, who wants the job to be done without necessarily taking credit. People who seek to take credit, I, when you're dealing with a we, are people who, by the way and large, are not part of the revolution. I'm not here to make any judgment on Dr. Fontaine. But it begs the question, because I'm definitely sure HD initially 1 year ago, Secretary Chris, contacted many people. And at that time, if I remember, Dr. Fontem was doing the, is it SCNC or what? He was with one thing like that, which, I mean,
Yeah, with a consortium, I guess.
No, there's something. He came to the US and he organized a meeting.
SCLC.
Yeah. So he was involved. That is the time, I presume, SG got contact with him. And what is wrong with that? What Southern Cameroonians must actually recognize is that the Swiss did not jump into our case just like that. Southern Cameroonians, groups like the IG and the AGOPC, approach the Swiss government if they can help mediate this process. And this government said yes. And now we are doing all of this nonsense. My advice to my elder brother, people like Dr. Fontem, is that to me, there is no point turning off the candle, the light of another person's candle. It doesn't make your own brighter. It doesn't. Because you shut down my candle, it doesn't mean yours will be brighter. This issue with Switzerland and HD, one always come out to seem as though he's defending Switzerland and HD, which is not the case. The big question has been, what else is there if not this? And if there is something else, please bring it up. Let's embrace it. Our comrades who are running away from this only peace process now are doing so at the detriment of their names and at the blood of their people, because they would have to come in at one juncture. They will have to come in at one juncture. And I just want to tell Southern Cameroonians that please be braced and count your blessings, name them one after the other. Be happy, because the Swiss process is progressive. ACT has not slept on you or the process. It is progressive, it is growing, and before you know it, inshallah, God willing, Southern Cameroons would be meeting La République du Cameroon on the first face-to-face. That is coming. Our comrades who criticize this process are only doing so from the hindsight without any knowledge. The Quran says, Illa dhibazan, only from conjecture. We are done trying to behave as though we are convincing Southern Cameroonians to recognize that our problem is going to be solved on the table, not anywhere else. If we were a team and working as a team, and I keep praying to God for that day to come, which country can really play us for a fool? But listen to me, we are not going to fold our hands and get our people slaughtered because somebody thinks that things must be done by their way. Things must be done how they wish and when they wish. We will not do that. ACT constitutes, by and large, more than 80% of Southern Cameroonian constituencies and endorsement. We are going to go on with that. Whether anybody likes it or not, we cannot have the international community back out on us thinking that we don't want peace. We want justice. And to get to peace, we want to go through a process of justice. Which other process would be that would bring justice except that of a roundtable talk with your adversary?
Yes.
And I've heard this noise without an alternative. So please let me finish this. The bad thing with criticism, the bad things with attacks, is that you attack one thing without providing an alternative.
Yes, and I was going to say that, hold on, and I was going to say that I listened to an audio coming from a town hall Zoom meeting from some of these guys, including Dr. Fontem, basically making a statement that they will join, they will try to not just join, I should use the word infiltrate, because if you are infiltrating to sabotage, you are not necessarily joining, you are infiltrating. So I listened to the audio from the town hall meeting saying they will infiltrate the membership, the team, Team ARC, in order to sabotage the Swiss initiative. And Dr. Fontem was in that meeting. He was in that meeting. I expected him to I expected to hear a word of opposition, a word of knowledge, common sense from him. I didn't. But it beat my imagination that people who claim to be fighting the same struggle with us, they see an open door, they do not join it, but they seek not just to challenge it, but to sabotage it. The only reason being they are not at the forefront, they are not sitting on the steering chair. Tell me, what do you think about this? Isn't it disappointing, to say the least?
Yeah, it is disappointing that people who claim genocide on them, claim massacre, and then will be toying with a peace process that comes in their favor, by the way. I say in our favor because the first impression I had, still have, when the Swiss approached me particularly, is that this is a recognition. If someone does not recognize you as a separate entity, they will not say they want to mediate a talk process between you and another entity. It is a shame. Talking about acts, God has his ways and God is the master of all. Acts is so tight, the security contingency of acts is to the teeth. Yes, it is an all Ambazonian team, but those that would have to be coming in would go through strict scrutiny. Secretary Chris, there is no revolution where all movements, especially when it comes to negotiation, necessarily were on board or necessarily had one voice. But in my estimation, and someone can just come out and prove me wrong, there is Abdul Karim in acts. There is the IG, there is Sokadev as APLM, there is Morisk. I am asking, what is this if not by and large endorsement from the people? Now, ACT would not allow people who have not sworn to the liberation movement, by the way. Some of these people's name which you mentioned, we are sure that they are yet not even clear what they want. Should they have opportunities to twist things, we would see it coming right away. So this is my take, that again is another negative publicity stunt. They want to distract the people. The people have blessed ACT, and ACT, in my opinion, is carrying that blessing. Listen, I forgot to mention Rua, Republic of Ambazonia. The father of this revolution, the father of this liberation struggle, His Excellency Fongonjin Dinka, his blessing is on ACT. He is represented there. Our parents are there well represented. We hope that our brothers, who will still not recognize reality,
Talking about representation and endorsement of ACT to show how much of Ambazonia it represents, all our veterans. I mean, I would say all of our veterans. Talking about Christopher Atang is seated in there.
Yeah.
Pa Ndangam is represented in there. As you mentioned, Fongoji Dinka is represented in there. There is no group that I don't know that is not represented in there, and I mean all the veterans of this struggle are all represented in there. Even in Fongalamfo, from his dungeons in Kondenge, has endorsed ACT. So it just again beat my imagination that people who are smart like Neba Fontem would want to sabotage this.
Oh yeah, sabotage would always come, but you cannot sabotage the will of the people, which is, by the way, the will of God. The voices of the masses is basically the voice of God. You cannot impose what you don't have. And again, Southern Cameroonians must be very careful at this juncture. Keep praying for ACT, because ACT needs your prayers, especially now. There's a lot of development. We are now, I will assure you, even Secretary Chris here, who does all the work he does for ABC, does not sleep because of ACT. ACT is running a race of time with more than a handful to deal with already. We don't sleep from this business call to that official call to this diplomatic call. ACT has, instead of 1 week, a weekly meeting, we have now 4 meetings per week. Sometimes it gets to 5 meetings, unprepared meetings, emergency meetings. Why? Because there is progress. There is a lot coming, which is not my place to divulge here. So all of these distractions should not even move you. But in my opinion, any Southern Cameroonian who without hard facts and without knowledge is against any negotiation process is either in illusion or in confusion. I would not say they are traitors, but they are either illusional or they are confusionists. Now, Dr. Fontaine, I'm sorry to say this, and I've always wanted to avoid things like this, but when people come public with certain statements, we must be clear. Lines like SJ got in touch with me to throw web over people's eyes. To me, it doesn't hold any water because this contact was made 1 year ago, pretty much as it was done to many people who are not even part of the process. So to bring it a year later, as though you are in steady contact with SG is not true. And if you are, please provide evidence for those. I don't think so. These were initial things. I'm sure that myself, SG has given their hands and request, please, can you help talk to this comrade of yours? And what is wrong with that? Just what is wrong with that? I mean, I don't get it. What would you do as a mediator? You know? But we keep doing this sometimes just to stay relevant. You don't need to stay relevant if your family, if you are relevant. You don't need to remind your children and wife that, listen, I am your father. Listen, I am your husband. If you are a husband and a father, you don't need to remind people. All you need to do is be that.
All right. Last question. At what point would ACT consider admitting some of these people into ACT? I mean, just your opinion, though.
No, at any point, but there is I'm sure that I'm not making. By the way, let this be recorded. I'm not making a statement on ACT's behalf, but I understand how ACTs work. I know their bylaws. I'm sure that there would be a point where ACT might be very, very hesitant on admitting new members, which of course is reality for all business. If you are planning to play a football match and you have a team who has trained for 12 years to play that match, no matter how good a player is, he cannot join at the 11th hour. There's going to be an 11th hour, which I cannot determine right now. But I'm sure that at any time, any Southern Cameroonian who really understands the process and is eligible to join, by the way, why should ACT refuse? But there will be great vetting. You know, I would want to say that ACT made decisions some last week, and they have inflated a little bit the group of ACT with some members from the same groups and movements that have their constituencies represented. And this time around, may the women give us a big shout. We wanted to build the foundation, as the Bible says. You know, man was first of all created, and then the women came. So we wanted that the foundation is strong so that the women could come in. All of those who have joined are women. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Abdul. It was a pleasure having you here, sir. I look forward to speaking again to you as events unfold. You are one of our analysts here at ABC, and I wish you all the best.
I wish you same, sir, and my love and regards to the people of Southern Cameroon, and may God short live our liberation struggle.
Thank you, sir. God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the one and only Abdul Karim, the one and only Abdul Karim. As you find the subject on your screen, I like to bring a statement which I am directing to the UNDP representative and office, of course, in colonial capital in Yaoundé. We at the interim government have learned of a recent meeting that took place in Boya a few days ago, organized by the UNDP representative in Yaoundé on the occasion of the so-called reconstruction trip made to the northern zone and the southern zone by French Cameroon colonial minister Paul Tasso. We have learned that the UNDP held a meeting in Boya with some NGOs, to kind of sensitize the NGOs as to what their plans are about reconstruction and how They hope to use the NGOs to carry out part of this project, so-called Reconstruction. We have also seen some vacancies being advertised by the UNDP in Yaoundé, recruiting engineers in the northern zone in Bamenda, recruiting engineers in Boya, recruiting operation officers in both zones and part of French Cameroon. So the message that we get from what the UNDP is trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, is that in spite of our protests, when I say our protests, I am referring to all of Ambazonia, in spite of our protests, to stop the so-called reconstruction that the UNDP, United Nations Development Program, would even think of going ahead to summon a meeting with NGOs to kind of engage them in this so-called reconstruction is a testament to the fact that the UNDP are not, it's not, ladies and gentlemen, it is not. The UNDP in particular and the United Nations in general isn't sensitive at all to the plight and to the demands of Ambazonia. This is what we are thinking. We are saying, passing a message to the UNDP and all the United Nations agencies on the ground in Ambazonia. We have collaborated or cooperated with every UN agency on the ground in Ambazonia up to date. We have allowed them unfettered humanitarian access to every nook and cranny in Ambazonia, both zones. But we must let the UNDP know this, and the UN in general know this, that if they should endorse and continue to make plans and recruit people for this so-called reconstruction, we may have to stop our cooperation with every NGO on the ground, including United Nations humanitarian NGOs. Because we will not sit here and allow the United Nations Development Program to use so-called NGOs to go out and continue the rape of our resources, the rape of our people, the rape of our rights to self-determination. We will not sit here and allow that happen. And so we are passing this message to the UNDP authorities in Yaoundé that if you will continue in this so-called reconstruction in the midst of killings, in the midst of massacre, in the midst of genocide, sir, we may have to sever every form of cooperation that we have had in the past with every UN agency on the ground. This is the message that we want the UNDP in Yaoundé to know. And we will love that the UNDP's representative in Yaoundé takes note of this message. We are hoping that the UNDP would respect the rights of Ambazonians to peace, to self-determination, and wait until when this war is over. Wait until when this war is over before indulging or engaging in their so-called reconstruction. By the way, I would love to ask the UNDP and the United Nations agencies in Yaoundé, what are they reconstructing? There are no roads in the northern zone. Why not start with the roads if you care? If you so care about development in Ambazonia, why not start reconstructing the roads from Bunda to Bamenda? Why not start from there, sirs? We expect you to start from there. So, but this is the message. If the UNDP continue to engage in this reconstruction so-called plan in Ambazonia, this interim government and the leadership of this struggle will have to sever every other cooperation that we have had in the past. with UN agencies rendering humanitarian support on the ground. I hope the message gets across, and those that matter take note of that of the message. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I also like to come to you with this message coming from Kondenge, Kondenge Maximum Security Prison. Now, I'd like you to stay put and please listen to this message coming from Kondenge.
Yes, we are reporting live from Kondenge Central Prison. And we have decided because the government is claiming to campaign for schools reopening. While all of us parents, children, we are in jail. We are suffering for the cause. We are not criminals. We need to be free. Let everybody share this video and let the world know that we are living under difficult conditions in prison. But yet, the Cameroon government is doing nothing to help us. You people should share this video to the whole world. Share this video to the whole world. Share this video. No, Iwan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the footage you saw there came from Kondenge, maximum security prison, where you have thousands of Amazonian children, youth, languishing in that detention center. The message that these young guys are passing out is they do not want any school resumption. They do not want any school resumption in Amazonia. The reason being, they themselves are students. And thousands of them are in those jails, in Yaoundé, in Douala, in Boya, in Bamenda. They should be in school also. If schools should resume, what is going to happen to their own education? That is a protest they are carrying out there, and they are also protesting the conditions under which they live. The conditions under which they live in Kondenge prison. And talking about the conditions in Kondenge prison, we have also learned of this single mother who was picked up in Victoria in 2017. Nobody knew about it. Now, this is her face. This is the face of the lady. This lady, Jermaine Zenzo, was picked up in Victoria since 2017. Nobody knew about her until recently she sneaked out a letter from Kondenge. So now, she is weeping and lamenting in Kondenge, asking for help, begging for attention, begging for a release. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to you the letter that this lady sent in from Kondenge. It is pathetic. Reading, I almost wept reading through the letter penned from behind prison in Kondenge from this lady, narrating how she was picked up, abducted by French Cameroon terrorist soldiers in Victoria and taken to Yaoundé. Now, she wrote, this is what she wrote. I was arrested in Victoria on the 21st of September 2017. On this day, more than 20 armed men came to my job site at about 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. They intimidated me with their guns, slapped me, took my hand back containing my purse, my phones, and money. They took all the data processing accessories at my job site, handcuffed me, and whisked me off to the police station at Bota, where they asked me to identify some boys I didn't know. From there, I was driven to my house in the same condition, where my house was ransacked by the same men who took along money amounting to 492,000 francs in cash. In cash. They took away cash amounting to 492,000 francs in cash, ladies and gentlemen. And my phones with a sum of 452,000 francs in my mobile money accounts. They also took away my personal documents in the house, and I have no idea where they ended up, since they were never handed back. Those documents and the cash, she says, they were never ever handed back to her. Now she continues, ladies and gentlemen, from here, from Victoria, I was blindfolded and driven to an unknown destination, where I was locked up, still blindfolded for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, this lady was blindfolded and locked up by French Cameroon terrorist soldiers for 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. During the first week, I was asked to identify a group of boys said to be Amazonians. Then I was accused of sponsoring the said boys in question. I explained to the interrogators, she said, that I operated a business which included money transaction, mobile money. So my account was used by these guys to collect their money, but that I wasn't a sponsor. But that she wasn't a sponsor. She continued, after serious torture to enable me denounce these guys, to enable me to denounce the guys I did not know, I was then transferred to the judicial police station, where I was kept for 2 months behind closed doors and fed like a dog. I was later transferred to the Kondenge Central Prison on the 1st of December 2017. 1st of December 2017, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that was that long ago. She was transferred to Kondenge, 1st of September 2017, where she has been till today. Where she has been. This lady you find on your screen, where she has been up to today. Communication with the outside world from prison is awfully difficult for me since my detention. I have prayed and hoped that the mystery of the false accusations which led to my arrest be solved. I have hoped to reacquire my dignity, so I resume my normal life. Yet, no change so far. I am a single mother to a 10-year-old boy. My family is very poor, with no one to assist them financially or otherwise. So, I have been unable to see any of them. I have been unable to see to my release. The family has been unable to see to her release. Though, I must admit, they have tried everything possible for it. My mother had to borrow almost 2 million francs. 2 million francs, ladies and gentlemen. The mother had to borrow 2 million francs CFA to secure her release, which was futile. In other words, which failed. It didn't work. She was not released. And the money was never returned. The 2 million CFA francs was never returned, whoever took it. Now I am counting on everyone. This is her appeal now. I am counting on everyone, every single noble, let me take that again. Now I am counting on everyone, every single noble-hearted person out there who needs this, who reach this post or listen to this post, my cry out for help. Now this is the lady speaking, and she ends by saying, I am barely a young woman. No, she says, I am barely a young woman and mother who started off a small business to feed my family. Thank you. Thank you for liking and, of course, commenting. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to know there are very few Ambazonian women in Kondenge prison. Very, very few, including my own sister. This lady is one of them. This lady is one of them. She was doing nothing but a little business to take care, to feed her family in Victoria. In that evening, they came in at 6:30 p.m., almost closing time. Closing time. 20 well-armed French Cameroon military came in and swarmed her business place, took her away with money worth almost a million CFA francs. Ladies and gentlemen, when my sister was picked up, they went away with 1.9 million francs from her house. This is what the French Cameroon military is doing. This lady was picked up with money on herself, on her body, close to a million CFA francs. But nobody knew. Nobody is talking about her. Nobody ever knew that this lady has been in jail. If she did not send out the note that I just read to you, nobody will know that a lady like this is behind bars in Kondenge prison for nothing, for doing nothing. I want to ask the Northwest or Southwest Women Task Force, where are they? Where is Salih Mbumien? Where is Salih Mbumien? When innocent women like this one are languishing behind bars since 2017, December 2017, this woman, a mother, a single mother in that place, has been languishing, ladies and gentlemen, behind bars since 2017. Where are the women of Salih Mbumien? Where are they? Who are they fighting for? I thought Salih Mbumien said they are fighting for the suffering people, the suffering women. Where are they? Can they tell us how many Ambazonian women like this one are languishing in prisons all over La République du Cameroon? Can they tell us? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make an appeal. You have a Twitter page. You have a Twitter page. Tweet the photo of this woman to every power that you know. Tweet the image of this lady to every power that you know. This woman committed no crime, but she left her 10-year-old child, and she's languishing behind bars for doing nothing. Tweet her story. Tweet her photo. Facebook it. Let it get to every power that matter, and we should demand that every person held in Kondenge be released, especially these women, single mothers in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge is ours. Let's get to Facebook, tweet this woman, tweet her story. She should be released. Bizarre Berries should be released. Every other woman in there, they should be released. There is a man and woman who are there also, picked up in Chang. They are languishing in prison, Kondenge Center prison. All these women, they should be released. We demand that they be released. Get the message to Twitter. Get the message to every. And let me also ask, where are these? Where is the Guardian Post? Where is the Guardian Post, ladies and gentlemen? It prides itself as a leading newspaper in Ambazonia, being a daily. Why has the Guardian Post never carried the story of this innocent woman languishing behind jail in Kondenge? If the Guardian Post was a serious newspaper, they would blow the image of this woman in front of their cover to protest the incarceration of innocent people. No, the Guardian Post cannot do it because they have to carry the story that are paid for by French Cameroon. Everybody, you live on ground zero. Never you have to spend a dime again. Never you have to spend a dime again to buy a copy of the trashy, badly written, badly edited newspaper called the Guardian Post. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will open the phone line, take a few calls. Before I go, I want to believe I have exhausted everything. But before I do that, while I expect your phone calls, let me take you to the drive. The drive. Weekend, ladies and gentlemen, we have the drive moving to Indian. The drive is moving to Indian County. The drive is moving to Indian County this weekend, and I want to appeal to every one of you. The moment has come to stand with Indian. Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you realize Indian? I think Indian is the biggest in land size in Amazonia. Yeah, Indian is the biggest county. In fact, they have, I think, 8 local government areas. 8 local government areas. That's how big Indian is. So please, this is the week of Indian. Indian, with their population, with their size, must challenge Momo. Indian must challenge Momo. And I hope they are listening to me. The draft for Indian has started. If you are from Indian, please get out and conduct the draft. It has started. In the coming days, we will give you the phone number with which you can call to start drafting for Indian. But let me get to the first caller, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, when you call, make sure before you call, your television set, the volume of your television set is turned down. Make sure that before you call, the volume of your television set is turned down before you call. All right, let me get to the first caller. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, Sexy Chris.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I once again good evening. I have a question for our Secretary of Defense. There is a problem that we have with our forces on ground zero. Most of them have been killed because the enemy met them when they were highly drugged. They were sleeping. They have been killing our fighters because they are
now hold on. What you are saying doesn't really hold on, sir. Hold on. What you are saying doesn't really make sense. We cannot come on TV and say they were killed because they were highly drugged. You have to be specific. Where are you talking about?
Yeah, something happened in the northern zone.
Where? What county and what? I mean, you can go ahead and name the name of the camp. It doesn't matter. Tell us which camp was drugged.
Well, I want not to go into specific because there are still people that are fighting to solve this problem. They have some raw drugs that these guys are consuming. I wanted to ask the Secretary of Defense what he's doing to stop it because it is causing a lot of problems, a lot of it. Most of our guys were being found on their guards sleeping because they have consumed a lot of that drug and they were sleeping on guard, sleeping, and they got slaughtered. It's a problem, Secretary, please.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the comment. I would like to add, however, that is kind of a generalization because when you make a statement like that without being able to tell us precisely where it is, it just doesn't make sense. But whatever the case, the Defense Department and I mean, the Defense Department cannot even go about, I don't know how they go about investigating something you are making without making specific. If you have specifics, send them to me, sir, and I will forward it to the Department of Defense and to the security chief of that county. We need to know the county and precisely what restoration forces you're talking about. Okay. Let me see who is calling next. Hello, sir.
Yes, Chris, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Comrade Sama, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Senator Chris. And you?
I am doing excellent.
Okay, fine. What the last caller is saying is true. That report had Richmond, and it is in Mancon.
Okay, good. Now, those are the specifics we need. You don't just make generalized statement without giving us directives how to figure out. Yes, go on, please.
Yeah, that was really a reckless act from the part of our boys, and we don't know how many times we advise them, be careful with what they do and the amount of liquid they take or whatever drug they are taking. I don't know if it's a
now when did this happen, sir?
It happened. I think it happened about a week or 2 weeks ago. I only got wind of that about 2 days ago. When it happened in Mancon, I went there to investigate what went wrong, and that information was given to me.
So, is the Mezam security chief and the leadership aware of it?
No, I think this is the first time that this information is getting out. Because I don't know, even if the security chief gets this information, what can we do? We've given a lot of advice to our boys on the ground to be careful of what they do. If you are to drink, don't drink and get drunk. If you are to drug yourself, whatever drug, don't drug yourself to go for the battle. Because you're not going there with your senses, and you can be easily killed. These guys were picked up. They were tapped from where they were sleeping and killed. Can you imagine?
How many of them were there?
I think there were 3 of them.
But somebody must have leaked their location, and I mean at that particular moment for the terrorists to have shown up at that particular time means somebody must have leaked that information.
Secretary Chris, the truth of the matter is that our boys, some of them are very reckless. They deal in kidnapping, and what happened before they were gotten is that they hijacked somebody's car.
Okay.
Went and parked that car close to their camp and placed these guys to be guarding that car. So they drugged themselves and were just around the area, and a spy tip off the security, the enemy to come there. And when they reached there with that car as their lead way, they found the guy sleeping. So
well, it's interesting. It's interesting what they were trying to do there, because that is not the assignment that they are given to do. And if they go beyond the assignment to steal people's cars and hijack people and kidnap people, and they face the consequences, that is their cup of tea. We really don't care here, because we have warned again and again and again: do not abduct people, do not take ransom from people, do not confiscate or steal people's properties. And if they do that and get exposed, they are killed. I have no sympathy. I don't think anyone should have any sympathies for those people. The rest should learn a lesson.
In fact, you are very right. I was very cross when I got that information, but I cannot also express any sympathy with such reckless act coming from them. And then for also continuing the program, that was just Mr. Lanos, I think.
Thank you.
This UNDP thing that is going on in the Southern Cameroons.
Yes.
There are times you need to take hard and harsh decisions. With these United Nations guys that are running around the Southern Cameroons talking about Reconstruction.
Okay.
I've said any Southern Cameroon that will see anybody, let that person be Jesus Christ. coming to put a peg in the southern Cameroons in the name of reconstruction, we will crucify you the second time. We are not out for a joke. Jesus Christ came from heaven to put a peg for reconstruction without the independent. We are talking first about the liberation of the southern Cameroons. We will put you on the cross again for the second time and make sure we don't know whether you go now to hell or in heaven. Wherever you go, that is a problem. So we don't care whether you are a United Nations worker or you are one worker, that you are coming to the southern Cameroon for reconstruction, you will bear the consequences. Take your own security into your own hands. We will not provide the security. We will deal with you as an enemy combatant in the southern Cameroon.
Thank you. Thank you for the call, sir. You made a point, and we've passed the message. We've passed the message to them. I hope the UNDP in particular gets us and understand our plight. The representative of the UNDP in Yaoundé happened to be a Rwandan. I don't think that they started reconstruction in Rwanda while the Rwandan war was going on. No, the war was over. The war was over in Rwanda ever before they started rebuilding Rwanda. And in fact, that reconstruction is still going on as I speak in Rwanda. There shouldn't be any different standard for Ambazonia. Okay, let me get the next caller here. Hello, sir.
Good evening, thank you, please.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please?
I am calling from the United Arab Emirates, sir.
Okay. Thank you for the call. 1 minute. What is your comment or opinion?
Sir, I just want to appreciate you for all you have been doing. And I want to contribute about concerning the construction program that is ongoing in Ambazonia. I want to plead that if there is any means, you people can call for national protest.
National what?
A worldwide protest. A national worldwide.
Okay, yeah, worldwide protest. I think that's a very good point. Yes.
Yeah, we can call for worldwide protest, and in the United Nations office to denounce the reconstruction that is about to go on in our country. Sir.
I think you make a very pertinent point there. The only unfortunate thing is, I don't know whether in New York they will allow us to gather there, but it is something to find out. That's a really great point. And Ambazonians in the USA, I think we should think about this. Let's consider this and deliberate upon it and see what we can do. I think a protest at the United Nations office in New York against this so-called reconstruction will be very, very timely. Yes, sir.
That's it, sir.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you very much, sir. That was just my contribution. Thank you, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, let me see. I need calls from ground zero. Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Please.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. You're calling from the USA.
Thank you a lot for your good job. Please, can you?
I'm hearing you. Go on, please.
I'm saying thank you for your good job. You are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Please, can you send out all the people that have been killed in Ambazonia when you are doing this show?
Send out all the people who have been killed?
Send out all the people that have been killed so that the world can see when we are crying. You know, so that they can see when we are crying. You are very correct. You are very correct. We can do that, but unfortunately, all those children killed in the screen.
Yes, this is. Let me explain. Let me explain. Let me explain to you why we are not doing that yet, but we're going to be doing that when we launch ABC News. But the reason we cannot do so now is because you know that the moment we do that, Facebook will flag us off and shut us down, and probably YouTube will do the same. We can do that on TV, which we will begin to do when we launch ABC News. But for now, when we are broadcasting on on the simultaneously on Facebook and satellite, we cannot do that. They will shut us down. But again, when we launch ABC News, because we only run it on the Facebook maybe for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, they're going to be running on ground zero for 24/7. We can do that on television, but on the social media, we cannot do that because Facebook will flag us. You know, when you go on Facebook and you see some videos and audio and photographs, they cover them because they don't want you posting them. And when they realize you do that again and again and again, they may just cancel your account. We've had our account canceled before. So you remember this, where you are watching right now on Facebook is a new ABC account. The first one was canceled because of the images that we put out there. But don't be worried. When we start the newscast, you can rest assured we will carry that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the call. All right. Who is next? I want to get calls on ground zero. I hope they have electricity. Okay. Let me try this one. Bad connection here. This is bad connection. Who else is calling? Okay. Hello, I have asked you to shut down the volume of your set before you call. Your volume is on. I can't pick your call. You must shut down the volume of your set. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from the northern zone.
Okay. How is the northern zone today? Where precisely in the northern zone? Which county?
Abakwa.
Abakwa. All right. What is your contribution, sir?
Secretary Chris, I just want to thank you for the enlightenment and all the briefing you are giving us concerning our struggle.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed with the presentation of today with Karim. Karim is my neighbor, very close neighbor at his house, my tree.
He must know your voice. You must be identifying your voice now, I guess.
I don't know whether to do.
Okay.
Well, in fact, I'm so worried, and that we need to take something very hard against this UNDP people. We are at war, and so we cannot be taking things light. This warning, as you said on the TV, if they joke, we will light their vehicles. If they joke, we have been giving them too much respect, and if they want to give us respect, we will light their vehicles, and that will send a good signal for them. You just said it in Rwanda, they did not do so, and here they cannot come and do so.
Not at all. In Rwanda, there was no reconstruction before the end of war. They started reconstruction in Rwanda when peace was established, and that's all we are asking for in Ambazonia. We will not, however, advise on the burning of their property or their vehicles. We will simply tell them we can no longer guarantee them any protection that we have guaranteed them all this time. We at the interim government have been at the habit of instructing the restoration forces to make sure that they protect all humanitarian NGOs on the ground, including United Nations NGOs. We have collaborated with them, protected them, but if they think that they will come out and start this so-called reconstruction, we will wash our hands and walk away and allow them to provide their own protection if that's the way they want it to be.
That is true, Secretary Chris, and I still want to reiterate, if they joke, you only hear from us here that their vehicles have been lighted. And we are serious about this because they are really perpetuating these things with the NGOs. And there is this NGO here at my 5. The boss was very vocal about it when they were having this meeting with them. He accepted that NGO is called Shumas. She was very strong behind them that they have to do this reconstruction. They are behind them and they will see to assist them that this construction is carrying out. And secondly, the second worry is that Mobile and my four, they have to take note of this Mobile and my four. My four. Mondays goes down, motorcycles are plying the road. So it is calling like we have to light some of these motorcycles on Mondays and goes down there between my four and Mobile.
I've also learned that in my three in Queen, there are some shops that are open on the ghost town days.
Yes, true.
Okay.
That's around my area. That's true.
All right. Thank you for the call. We will follow up on that.
Yes. Otherwise, that's my worry.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate the call. All right. So let's see. That was a good call from Ground Zero. Let me see where this is coming from. Hello, sir. When you call, your volume has to be down, please. Okay, this guy has been trying to call us since. Hello, sir. Hello. Bad connection there. Let me see. All right. So, hello, sir.
Good evening, sir, please.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling in from, please?
Zone, precisely about.
Abakwa. Okay. 1 minute. What is your contribution, sir?
Yeah, we just learned that some massacre took place in the Ntaba, Mbonso area on Sunday, and we are a little bit worried. In fact, my brother's child was killed in that massacre.
Where was that?
And
did you say in
Mbonso, in the Ndonga Mantum, precisely in a village called Ntaba,
okay,
just after Ngabur, going
okay
down.
Okay.
Just after Ngabur.
Just after Ngabur. That was last Sunday?
Last Sunday, and the truck was burnt to ashes.
Yes, we saw the photos of the truck.
Yes, we good at the Secretary for Defense. If you can give us, because the retaliation is not going to be easy. If it comes to the
now, do we know? Do we know who owned the trucks?
It's a businessman in Kumba.
And do we know why those trucks were targeted? Was he doing violating Ghost Town or what?
No, it was on. It was not. It was on Sunday. It was on Sunday. It was not on Ghost Town Day. It was on Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday, and we are hearing rumors that this truck was carrying certain arms for the army.
Okay.
So we want the Secretary of State for Defense to get into the negatives of the whole situation, because the revenge is not going to be good. My brother's child.
All right. All right. Thank you for the call.
With a small child of about with a child of about 7 months old.
The child of 7 months old was killed.
The child of 7 months old.
The child was killed.
No.
Oh, you left the child behind.
The wife of the young man who was killed.
Yeah.
Yes, the child is 1 month old. In fact, 1 month old with the mother.
All right.
So let the Secretary of State do something serious about it, because the revenge will not be easy.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the call. You have a great day, sir. All right. Hello. Sir, before you call, you have to shut down your television as I can't pick your call. Hello.
This is Ernest from DC.
I'm sorry, can you be a little louder, please?
Yeah, I'm saying that this is Ernest from DC.
Okay, Ernest, how are you today, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Chris. I just have a little contribution that since you got information about the minister that is going about construction,
right?
Get that when you get that information again. Don't tell anybody in Ambazonia that the minister is coming again. Tell our people, let them know how to target him so that he will not use this information to escape again, because he got an escape route this time around.
No, so what do you mean? We're telling our people to shut down. We're not giving them where the minister or when the minister. What do you mean by that?
Because I think that the minister knew that he was playing in the serious zone and was trying to find his way out. So if he's coming next time and people don't know, and he himself don't even know that they are aware of him, then we can easily target him.
If we don't declare lockdown, how would people know?
Or if you don't declare a lockdown, people will not know.
Right. But so that's why we announce it.
Okay, I'm thinking that the restoration forces could take care, maybe, and target where they are going, and just do their work.
Well, the wisdom is in making sure everywhere is locked down so that we can easily detect whoever is whoever is in the highway. We can know that these are the people, right?
I was thinking he will not escape this one in Southwest. That's why.
Well, he's not done yet. He is hiding. Didn't you hear he's hiding in some woman's house there in Boya? So let's see. I don't know how people come out planning reconstruction and they are hiding. So let's see what happens.
Why would people be dying and they don't have a house where to live, and somebody is talking that you want to start reconstruction? The people are not feeling secure.
Right.
Just give us our land, and people will come back and stay under huts, and they will be happy if this is their land. Home is home.
Absolutely.
That's what we want.
Thank you. Thank you for the call, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. All right. Who is this? Ground Zero. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, go. Yeah. Yes, sir. Where are you calling from? Good evening. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello.
I can hear you, sir. Go on. Where are you calling from? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go on, please. I can hear you. Hello? All right. That caller is kind of stuck there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if no other calls coming in, let me look at your messages. Somebody writes from London, Sector Chris, I think we are not going to use our ABC TV to devalue our restoration forces as Sama Thomas instigated today. Please use your judgment to filter what you encourage callers to talk about. Please remember that our restoration forces don't watch ABC TV, so talking to them or sending a message or condemning their behavior must not be over ABC but through their LGA chairpersons and LGA security leaders. You are correct, sir. However, that doesn't have to be said 1, 2, 3, 4 times before a change is expected. Sama Thomas said those people, those fighters have been reached to. They've been advised again and again and again, and they just would not stop doing what they did that led to their being killed. And let me be very frank upfront with you. We will not sit here and kind of coward with boys who are out there stealing people's property, abducting people, taking money and stealing cars. We will not tolerate it, and if it means calling their names out here, we will call it, because that is not a job they were asked to do out there. All right? Okay, who else is on the line? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, I will have some very, very important appointments to announce. Very, very important cabinet appointments to announce. So don't touch your remote. Stay in their place. Stay in their place. I was almost forgetting about this. Again, I have very important announcement, cabinet announcements to make. Hello. All right. So let me get to the announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very important cabinet announcements. Let me get to them. I am just going to read the appointments. I won't mind reading the preamble there. So just stay tuned. This appointment: Presidential Executive Order number 20/03. Appointments, ladies and gentlemen. Directorate for Planning and Performance Monitoring and Evaluation Bureau, Planning and Internal Control Directorate. Director Elizabeth Jambelele. It's a little difficult name there. Elizabeth Jambelele has been appointed director for the Directorate for Planning and Performance Monitoring and Evaluation Bureau in the interim government. Then Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, ABC Amba TV, Director Clister King, or you like call it King Clister, we'll call her Lady Clister. Ladies and gentlemen, appointed Director of ABC Amba Television. Then Directorate of Finance and Regulatory Compliance. Directorate of Finance and Regulatory Compliance. Director appointed Dr. Matt Tezok. Again, Directorate of Finance and Regulatory Compliance. Appointed Director Dr. Matt Tezok. Then we also have Directorate of Youth, Sports and Culture. Directorate of Sports, Youth and Culture. Joseph Bashi. All right. We also have Diplomatic Missions. Head of Diplomatic Mission, CARICOM. I don't know what CARICOM stands for, but that is what it says. Head of Diplomatic Mission, CARICOM. Bedifa Asongani. Bedifa Asongani. I think CARICOM stands for the Caribbean, I guess. So the ambassador there in the Caribbean, or CARICOM, is Comrade Bedifer Asungani. All right. The director of PIC shall be the chair of the Intergovernmental Oversight Committee. So those are those announcements. So ladies and gentlemen, let me see. I think there are still other ones that I need to bring to you. One more before I go. One more before I go. And this one has to do with the intergovernmental oversight. Intergovernmental oversight. I think I already mentioned this. Let me read this, ladies and gentlemen. I have to read all of this one. This is important. Stay put in there. This is titled Presidential Executive Order 2004, International Oversight Committee of the Interim Government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Mindful of the, I will skip this and get to the appointments itself. Now, this is the President. The President says, I hereby make the following appointments into the Intergovernmental Oversight Committee, IOC, Intergovernmental Oversight Committee of the Interim Government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, effective immediately. Effective immediately. Now, this committee is an oversight committee over the management of the award, Amber World Draft funds that are coming in. So this committee is being charged with overseeing the management of the funds that are being raised in this World Draft. So, chair and director, I mentioned it before, Elizabeth Jambelele is the chair. Deputy chair is Barrister John Fruinsaw. Deputy Chair, Barrister John Fruinsaw. Representation of the religious bodies, Mola Reverend MacLeonga. Reverend Mola MacLeonga. Committee members to include or representative from committee members will include a representative from the Office of the Comptroller General, Department of the National Treasury, Department of Self-Defense and Security, Department of Home Affairs and Community Mobilization, the Ethics Committee, and Coordinator of County Chairs, the Coordinator of County Chairs. The Intergovernmental Committee will function as per the terms of reference of the Directorate of the PIC and as per any specialized or ad hoc and demand. There's an error there, I don't get that. But ladies and gentlemen, I didn't get to read this ahead of time. What we're going to do is, you heard the names and the positions. What we're going to do is publish this press statement immediately I get out of this set, so you can read it yourself. I want to thank all of you for tuning in, but before I go, I just want to remind Ground Zero, especially the Southern Zone, lockdown continues till Friday, and business activities resume on Saturday. We are asking everybody in the Southern Zone, especially in the city areas, in Kumba, Moyoka, Ekona, Moya, Boya, Tiko, Motengene, Victoria, everywhere in the Southern Zone, please stay home. If you have a car, stay home, let it remain parked. You have an Okada, let it remain parked, because any person that is found on the street would be taken for Paul Tassong's entourage. Paul Tassong entourage. So please, we ask you stay home till Saturday, till Friday. And Saturday, you can go out for business. And the market women in Boya, we are warning you, please stay home. You don't want to risk your life. After these few days, you can go about your business. Do not risk your life for chunks of francs that you will make in a few days. Please stay home. We know those markets in Boya that are trying to operate. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure to be again with you. I look forward to coming back to you with updates over the week. Good night.